Hey guys, how you doing? Scotty from Scott's Bass Lessons again, and hopefully you're having a great December. If you haven't heard already, we're releasing a new video every day of December, the Scott's Bass Lessons Advent calendar, holiday calendar. We're releasing a new video every day throughout December, right until Christmas Day. So if you haven't signed up to receive those yet and you want to receive bass goodness, bassalicious goodness, every day, make sure you hit the link below, or maybe somewhere on this screen if you're watching it on YouTube. That'll take you through to the page so you can sign up and come and be part of the holiday party. Today, with this bass riff of the week, I want to give a special shout out to Danny Mo Morris, who is just an all-round super cool guy. He's one of the longest serving faculty members over at Berklee College of Music. Now, and he's a bass player as well, and a keys player. Danny, you play too, is that greedy? But anyway, so he teaches over at Berklee, and he's also just started doing live Q&A sessions for the Scott's Bass Lessons Academy as well. So we are super stoked to have him involved doing that, as well as guys like Ed Friedland and Anthony Wellington and Todd Johnson, Steve Lawson. They're all doing live Q&As. So there's like a live session every week with one of those guys where you can ask them whatever you want. But back to Danny Mo, okay? So Danny Mo, a few years ago, I came across one of his videos, in fact, probably about 6 years ago. And I want to just talk about the glove a little bit in this. I wear it. They're not as old as this sometimes. By the way, anybody wondering why I wear them, it's because I've got focal dystonia, this neurological hand thing. Very boring story. And they're made out of wool, sorry. Everybody asks what they're made out of, which is why they wear through and I end up with fingers sticking through like that. Okay, but it's about 6 years ago, 6 or 7 years ago, because of this condition I had, I was at a point where I could hardly play bass at all. I couldn't even play. Play a major scale, and it was a really bad part of my life, as you can imagine. I'd sort of dedicated my entire life to playing the bass and being a musician, and because of this condition that I had, which is thankfully helped by the gloves now, and you know, I've learned to control it, so which is why I can play now. But back then I didn't know how to control it. It had just become a part of my life, and I ended up not really being able to play at all. I had to stop gigging for about 6 months. You know, it was hard times. And I found a video of Danny Mo Morris. This is before I'd met Danny and we'd talked and stuff. I found a video of him, and it was, Danny's got a particular style. He plays in a really old school, funky kind of Motown-y stacks. He's got that, you know, that sound. He plays a P bass, sometimes plays a jazz bass. But he's just got such a funky old school sound. And how he does this is this cool style of muting that until this point I'd never seen before. Now when I saw Danny doing it, I was like, oh, I started seeing it in other, you know, I started seeing other guys using it, but Danny was the first guy that I saw using it, and I was like, whoa, that looks cool. So check this out, and this is how it relates to my condition at the time. I couldn't really use any of the fingers of my left hand separately. It was kind of, I couldn't really do this, you know, it was crazy stuff. I could only use one finger. Anyway, I saw Danny playing, and he was using he was playing with one finger on his left hand and muting with the middle, the ring finger and the little finger like this. Okay, so instead of, you lie these on top of the strings, and you get a real sort of like muted James Jamerson sound. You could liken it to having Sponge under the bridge. Now, I've got to warn you, I'm pretty terrible at this technique, but I'm trying. It's in my practice time. I've been talking to the guys in the academy about it, especially Hutch. If you're watching Hutch, just shout out to Hutch. He's one of the academy members, and he's really into Motown and stuff like that. In fact, he's really into Danny's playing as well. And we've been talking a lot about this technique. So it's left-hand muting, but in a way that gives you this old school funk sound. You know, gives you that real kind of Motowny James Jamerson thing. Okay, now I saw Danny doing this on the video and I was like, wow, he's playing with one finger on his left hand and he just sounds like as funky as I've ever heard somebody play, you know, it's just absolutely funky sound. And I thought to myself, well, maybe I could do that. And seeing Danny playing with one finger really gave me inspiration to sort of, you know, I hadn't played for 6 months bass before, you know. I just had to put it away and really concentrate on getting my hands back to, you know, if I could get them better. And when I saw this video of Danny's, I just thought, you know what, I'm going to give that a go. And it was that video that actually got me back playing bass, you know, just because I just thought, you know, I might not be able to use the fingers on my hand, but I could do that. I can just play that. You know, I could do that. And that video really helped me just get back into the bass. And then, long story short, you know, I sort of like found out about the gloves via a neurologist, like real sort of like crazy story. But Danny, if you're watching, I just want to give you a massive thanks just for seeing me through the bad times, you know, and helping me, you know, just helping me get back on the bass all them years ago and discover different ways of playing. And as it turns out, I kind of sort of like, got the movement back in my left hand, and touch wood, everything's still cool and my hands are working okay. So this riff that we're working on today is dedicated to Danny, and it's dedicated to Danny and his style of playing, because I'm using this one finger, this kind of one finger style of playing, this left hand muting style of playing to throughout the riff. And it'd be cool if you could try out this stuff as well, because it's really great to investigate how to get different sounds out of your bass. Like other guys that use this kind of thing, Rocco Prestia from Tower of Power used it a lot. Gospel guys like Sharay Reed, I've seen use this technique. But Danny was the first time. That was the first time I came across it. So let's take a look at this riff. You heard it at the start of this video. If you want the tab and notation, I really recommend getting the tab and notation for this, okay? Because there's some 16th note type things you might miss. And hopefully I'll cover everything in this tutorial, but it's basically just covering my ass just in case I miss anything, that you can read the tab and notation, okay? So download the tab and notation. The link, if you're watching this on YouTube, is directly below this video. Just hit the link, follow instructions on the page that it takes you through to. And if you're watching this on the website, again, there's a link below. If you're an academy member, remember that the workbook, the video file is there for you to download. The backing track, the full shebang is all directly below the video if you're watching on the site and you're an Academy member. And if you haven't checked out the Academy yet, make sure you do so. Okay, so let's take a look at this riff. It's just a simple, it's in 4/4. Boom, you know, and actually, I recommend being able to sing riffs before you try them. You know, it's just a really nice way of getting the rhythm down, because when you start playing the bass, you know, technique gets in the way, whereas verbalizing something, unless it's Peter Piper picked a peck of pepper, unless it's something like that, you know, we can verbalize things pretty easy. So it's nice to be able to sing riffs, and it'll give you a chance to get the rhythm down before you start playing on the bass, okay? So, but sing in your own time. I'll sing in my own time as well. Okay, so it's in 4/4 and it's just over a C dominant 7 groove, okay? And there are the notes out the C dominant 7. C, E, G, B flat, and C. Now, the riff itself is, let's play it up to speed to start with. 2, 3, 4. okay? As you can see, I'm playing every note there with the index finger, and even when I'm going, I'm playing it with that first finger as well. So the first two notes are just the root and the flat 7. Okay? And then it moves chromatically up to the octave, the root again. Again, listen to the dead notes as well. And the dead notes, but the ghost notes. Hear them? Boom, da. So they're created by boom, da, da, ba. They're created by the right hand or the plucking hand. So you just go, and then I'm sliding up. And then the same, sub. It's actually nice to just take that first part. So it will take the first part and then the second part. So the first part is, that's the first part. You can do a little sting if you like on there. That's this first part. The second part, get it? 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Remember to get that tab so you can see where all the ghost notes are landing. Okay, so that's the first two parts. And then that's the last part. And then that brings you back on the 1. Okay, so let's just hear that first part of the riff, okay? Or the first chunk of it. 2, 3, 4. Again, 2, 3, 4. Even slower, 2, 3, 4. And again. Now that little fill at the end that we're going to do is just down the, it's kind of added on the end, so the riff is okay, and that is again. Remember, this is all the first finger as well. So it's just going from the flat 7 of the C dominant 7, right? To the 13, to the 5th, and then chromatically up to that 3rd of the C. You know, it's got those ghost notes in between as well. So Even slower. Up to speed, whole thing. And you'll hear that again at the end of this lesson with the track. So just remember, when you're doing this, always try and visualize where the C7 is, okay? So, you know, the notes of the C7, root, third, fifth, octave, you know. This is sort of like standard vocabulary that I'm using, just, you know, and then up to the thirds. But by vocabulary, I just mean, you know, just phrases that we should have as bass players. We need kind of in our, you know, in our bag, so in our bag of tricks, so we can just get it out. It's just one of those things that going up to, you know, using the chord tones like this, we really need to get that in our bag of tricks so we can, you know, have vocabulary that we can call on when we're creating grooves and bass lines and even solos and stuff like that. You know, we have vocabulary, you know, all that kind of stuff. So anyway, that's the end of this bass riff of the week. There will be another one next week. If you're not on the Christmas list yet for Scott's Bass Lessons, make sure you hop on over there and sign up for it, because we're sending out new videos every day. We're going to have giveaways. We're going to have this new cool thing called Ask Scott running out throughout December, so you can actually ask me questions. I'm going to answer them live. There's a whole load of cool stuff going on. And again, just massive thanks to Danny Morris for being an inspiration to me personally, and just being an overall funky guy. So thanks, Danny. If you haven't been to Scott's Bass Lessons yet, make sure you go over there. I always have a load of stuff to say at the end of these videos, right? If you haven't been to scottsbasslessons.com yet, make sure you go over there and check it out, because there's a whole ton of stuff just like this, you know, totally free. And then if you want to push your bass playing to the next level, you should check out the Academy as well. Okay, take it easy, and I will see you in the shed.